Hey there, welcome to Practice Your Positive Daily, the podcast. I am Sass, and we are gearing up for 2025. It is right around the corner. We're going to have this podcast, and then I'm taking a break for a week. But let's get you ready for 2025 so it can be the best year yet, because you're going to make it the best year. So today, we're talking about a big picture plan. Say you wanted to start playing tennis. Okay, that's your goal for the year. What would you do? Would you just buy a racket and some balls and just go to the park and just start smacking it by yourself? No, that's crazy, right? You'd have a plan. It's no different with practicing our positivity, practicing our mindset. We need a plan, and we need a plan not just for the one area of our life. We need a plan that's a big picture, because all of these areas of our life are interwoven. They all feed each other. Today, we're going to talk about the different areas that could be in your big picture plan. And spoiler alert, you're probably already acing some of these, okay? So don't look at the list and be like, oh no, goals for each of these. No, for a lot of these, you're probably already on track, and maybe some small goals or refinements. But we're going to start with these one at a time and map out what to think about, some potential goals, and then how to put it all together for you to have a great 2025. So we'll start number one with movement. This is the foundation. I know it seems odd on a positivity mindset podcast to talk about movement so much, but the body, move your body to move your mind. And this doesn't have to be, CrossFit or these huge strength training routines, although if that's your jam, go for it. Simply move your body. Make a commitment every day to move your body. Take a walk, do some stretches, do some yoga, maybe lift weights, do a few body weight squats. So think small if you need to, or think huge if you're already there, but add a plan for movement. Your plan must include movement. That's number one. And it's not about aesthetics. It's not about outcomes. It's about feeling good in your body, feeling good in your mind by moving your body. Number two, mind and spirit. This is your anchor. This is your anchor for positivity on tough days. I have a saying that is, my mind will carry me when my body is weak, because girl, we know that some days right? Some days it's just real hard, but if I go back to my mind and my spirit, this is what gets me through. And listen, this can be anything you want. For a long time, I felt like a thoroughbred racehorse, in great shape, lots of achievements, but spiritually speaking, like there was nobody home, right? It was an area that needed improvement, and I did. I worked on it slowly to build some faith and to build a mindset and a spiritual practice that works for me. And that's what it's about. There's no shame in our game here on Practice Your Positive. It's about finding what works for you and opening yourself up to the possibility of trying something new, of practicing something new. And so think about a goal for your mind and your spirit. This could be, quiet time with your journal, time in nature. It could be organized religion. It could be some sort of faith-based services. Whatever gives you strength and a feeling of connected in something bigger, a feeling that you're not in charge, right? There is something bigger at work. So that's number two, mind and spirit. Number three, nutrition. Come on now, I'm a registered dietitian. We got to talk about food. Everybody loves to talk about food, but let's turn that talk into action and think about your nutrition. You could be doing great things and thinking great thoughts, but if you're eating Cheetos and soda every meal, you're really just not putting all together. And so think about your nutrition. This might be a larger goal for changing your diet or eliminating meat, but it might just be a small tweak, right? Less snacks at night, skip the sugary sodas, cut back on booze. Little changes add up, but remember, there's no shame in our game and there's no hate on our plate. Food is wrapped up with emotions and culture and finances and all these other things. So give yourself some grace and just think about your overall nutrition plan. Where are you doing well, and what might you be able to tweak for a better change? Number four, social and family. Build your team. Practice your positive. We see same team. This is a team sport. Positivity is a team sport. No one does this alone. And I get it. Nowadays, especially, we feel so disconnected and fractured and isolated and divisive. And That might be the zeitgeist, but me, we can change that by building these social connections, building out this family. Positivity thrives in community. So think about your team. Do you have a team or do you need to build one? No shame. Maybe you need to build one. That's totally fine. You can do it. You can find people, friends, family, coworkers. Who are your go-to people and how do you show up for them, right? It's bi-directional. These are two-way streets. And so, yes, if you want to have a friend, you need to be a friend. So think about how you are showing up in your friendships and your social connections. And then maybe make a commitment to small gestures, again, slow and steady, a call, a note. I'm going to text someone once a week, right? I'm going to reach out. I'm going to comment on this video and chit chat with Sass. I love it. But build your connection. Think about the types of people you have in your life and how you can connect. And spoiler alert, there might be people you don't even know who would love to be on your team if you just reach out. It's similar to the help episode a couple times ago. You know what? Sometimes strangers are more supportive than friends and family. It's just the reality. And so maybe that's you. So reach out, but build your team. I know I go off and off about that one, but come on now. This is what we need. We need community. That is the answer. All right, moving on. Number 5, I think, work and career. Think about your goals here, work, career, whatever your job, it takes up a big part of your life. So it deserves a place. I used to have a boss that said, some of us work for a living and that is our fulfillment. And some of us work to have fulfillment somewhere else, right? However you want to play your own way. But think about, do you find purpose in what you do? Do you enjoy it? Are you good at it? Does it support your goals and your dreams and your resources? If not, what could you bring you closer to living a more aligned job or career? Whether it's setting boundaries or pursuing a new career or even doing a side gig that maybe one day will turn to a full-time gig. Hey, look at the Practice Your Positive podcast, right? Side gig for now, full-time gig in the future, slow and steady, one day at a time. And if you have no latitude to move anywhere and you don't want to change your career or your work, then still learn a new skill, right? Improve yourself. There's something to be said for working on our skills, our intellect, and a lot of that is wrapped up in work and career. Number 6, that is giving back. We need a purpose beyond ourselves. It can't just be about ourselves. America, we have a me culture, not a we culture, but and how great would it be to toss that positivity out there and get it right back? It's like a positivity boomerang. This could be anything, but we have to take what we're doing for ourselves and share it with others. I say it all the time. What's the point of self-development if we don't share it with other people? I don't think it's a huge improvement for me to be absolutely amazing and cut off from everybody, not share myself, not offer help. We need to be connected like that. So think about volunteering, right? That could be easy, or mentoring, or even small acts of kindness create ripples that affect change. You don't know how much a little bit of giving of yourself can make someone else's day. It can have a huge influence. There are things that people have done for me that have given back to me, or things that I have done that still stick with me. Quick story. So I'm on a nonprofit board here locally, and we restore urban lakes, right? So you don't think about city lakes often, but they are part of the waterway and they're important. And last year we planted new marsh plants on the edge of this pond. And I got a text a couple weeks ago that they were doing really well and they survived the hurricanes. And how lovely, right? For me to think that something I did 6 months ago is still out there growing and thriving. It just fills me up. And what was it? A couple of hours? If you need ideas for volunteering, I will add those in the show notes, but Keep America Beautiful has local chapters everywhere. No training, no commitment. Show up, pick up, and get out of there. Okay, that's number 6. Number 7 is dreams. Dreams, big and small. Know your why. Have a vision. This one hits home. I didn't have dreams. I don't know, for a couple of years, right? Like I was working my regular job, I was divorced, I was working my job, and the dream was to work enough to one day retire. And then I'm like, retire to do what? Like what am I doing this for? Like I just didn't have any dreams, right? Like I had dreams when I was married, things that we were going to do or I was going to do, but then, they change and adapt. And so allow yourself the space to dream. Give yourself the time to dream, big or small. Keep your goals in your mind to keep you moving forward. Maybe it's something small like feeling good or making a new friend, or maybe it's something big like starting a new business or traveling. But when you know your why, when you're pulled by a vision of the future, that will help carry you through the downs of today, is a vision of the future. So give yourself some space. In this plan is very tactical, but give yourself space to dream. It's so important. We have to have our dreams. That is the big picture plan. It is Friday, so the positive of the day for the Friday going into the weekend, perfect time for reflecting, is to write down where you are in each of these areas. So movement, nutrition, mind, social, work, giving back, and dreams. So here I check some off. If I were doing this for real, I would probably uncheck a few of these and I would know that those were the areas that I needed more work in. It just needs to be a draft. Our goals are so much more likely to happen if we write them down. The physical act of holding the pencil, holding the pen, and writing them down, it anchors it in our brains. So that's it. Friday, positive of the day, positive of the weekend, is to look at these areas and see how you're doing and write down a small goal for 2025. All right, team. So positivity isn't just one thing. It's a quilt. It's a tapestry. It's a plan, a big picture plan that you build over time. It helps you see how pieces fit together and how we can build positive momentum in one area and let it spill over and make new momentum in areas that we're not as comfortable in. Okay. So start small, build momentum, and remember, you got this. Have a lovely week off. No podcast next week. I will see you again at the end of the month. So keep your heart open and keep practicing your positive. I love you.